Imagine the year is 1676. You are Mehmed IV, the Sultan of the Ottoman Empire, the sun and moon's brother, the steward of God, and the king of kings. You've sent a polite, albeit firm, demand for surrender to a band of unruly mercenaries on the edges of your empire, the Zaporozhian Cossacks. You expect fear. You expect a white flag. Instead, a few weeks later, a messenger arrives with a piece of parchment. You open it, and instead of a treaty, you find a torrent of the most creative, rhythmic, and devastatingly vulgar insults ever committed to paper. This letter wasn't just a refusal. It was a collective roar of laughter from a people who feared nothing, neither God, nor Sultan, nor death itself. This is Ilya Repin's masterpiece, Reply of the Zaporozhian Cossacks. It took 11 years to paint and remains the ultimate visual anthem of defiance. Today, we're going to dissect why this isn't just a painting of a group of laughing men. It's a psychological study of freedom, a political middle finger, and a masterpiece of hidden details. Part 1. The savage context. To understand the painting, we have to understand the people. The Zaporozhian Cossacks were a semi-military society living in the wild fields of modern-day Ukraine. They were the ultimate frontier rebels. They lived beyond the reach of European kings and Eastern sultans. In the 17th century, the Ottoman Sultan Mehmed IV sent them a letter. Let's look at his titles first. He called himself Sultan, son of Muhammad, brother of the sun and moon, grandson and viceroy of God, ruler of the kingdoms of Macedonia, Babylon, Jerusalem, Upper and Lower Egypt, emperor of emperors, sovereign of sovereigns, extraordinary knight, never defeated. It's the 17th century version of a verified blue-check Twitter bio. The response? The Cossacks sat around a table, much like the one in Repin's painting, and drafted a reply. They mocked every single one of his titles. Ilya Repin, the greatest Russian realist painter of the 19th century, stumbled upon this historical anecdote in the 1870s. He was obsessed. For Repin, these weren't just historical figures. They were the embodiment of the Russian soul, raw, unbridled, and democratically chaotic. Part 2. The anatomy of a laugh. Repin didn't just paint laughter, he painted a symphony of it. There are dozens of men in this frame, and no two laughs are the same. Let's look at the character map.
The scribe. At the very center is the only man not visibly howling. This is the intellectual heart of the painting. He is a clerk, trying to maintain his professional dignity while recording the filthiest jokes imaginable. Look at the corners of his mouth, a tiny, suppressed smirk. Fun fact, the model for this man was actually Dmitry Yavornitsky, a famous historian and an expert on Cossack life. Without his research, this painting wouldn't exist. The big man in red. To the right, a massive, barrel-chested man in a bright red coat is leaning back, his belly practically shaking off the canvas. This is the legendary Taras Bulba. He represents the sheer physical force of the Cossacks. Repin spent months trying to find a model with a necklace head that could convey this specific kind of roaring joy. The half-naked gambler. Why is there a shirtless man at a war council in the cold? Look at him from his front side. He's a card player. In Cossack culture, many fought shirtless to show they had nothing to hide, or because they had literally gambled the shirt off their back 10 minutes prior. He represents the all-or-nothing lifestyle. The hidden faces. Look at the background. There is a man so overcome with laughter that he has fallen backward. There is another leaning on his friend's shoulder, gasping for air. The textures. The detail is staggering. Zoom in on the white sheepskin hats, the cold glint of the sabers, the steam rising from the soup pot, and the tobacco smoke drifting through the air. Repin used a technique called perceptual realism. He wanted you to smell the sweat, the cheap vodka, and the gunpowder. Part 3. The secret geometry of chaos. On the surface, it looks like a messy bar fight, but compositionally, it's as precise as a clock. The circular flow. Notice how the figures are arranged in a rough circle around the scribe? This creates a centrifugal force. The laughter starts at the pen and ripples outward to the edges of the frame. It draws the viewer's eye in a spiral, making you feel like you are standing right there, perhaps about to offer your own insult for the letter. Look at the man on the far right, leaning toward us. He's looking almost directly at the viewer, inviting us into the joke. We aren't just observing history, we are co-conspirators in the insult. The dominant colors are blood red and earthy brown, punctuated by the stark white of the paper and the scribe's shirt. The white paper is the brightest spot in the entire painting. Why? Because in this world, the word is more powerful than the sword. The pen is currently doing more damage to the Ottoman Empire than 1,000 cannons.
Part 4. The Politics of Laughter.
Why did it take Repin 11 years to finish this? Because he wasn't just painting the past, he was commenting on his present. In the late 19th century, Russia was under the iron thumb of the Tsars. Freedom of speech was a myth. By painting these legendary freemen, Repin was making a radical statement about republicanism and democracy. He once wrote in a letter, "Our Cossacks are a great people. Nobody has felt so deeply the principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity." The ultimate irony. When the painting was finally unveiled in 1891, who bought it? Tsar Alexander III. He paid 35,000 rubles for it, the highest price ever paid for a Russian painting at the time. The Tsar didn't see a revolutionary message about democracy. He saw a nationalist message. To him, these were great Russian heroes standing up against the Eastern infidel. This is the tragedy and the brilliance of great art. It can be a revolutionary manifesto to one person and a patriotic poster to another. Part 5. The Ghost of the Painting. There is actually a second version of this painting. Repin, being a perfectionist, started another version while he was finishing the first. It's slightly more historically accurate and less theatrical, but it lacks the magical spark of the original. This painting has become a meme of resistance. In 1920, during the Russian Civil War, parodies appeared. In 2022, during the conflict in Ukraine, the imagery surfaced globally. Why? Because the core emotion is universal. It's the feeling of being the underdog. It's the feeling of knowing that even if your enemy is richer, more powerful, and better dressed, they can never take away your right to laugh at them. Ilya Repin's reply to the Zaporozhian Cossacks isn't a pretty painting. It's loud, it's crowded, and it's arguably quite rude. But it captures something that few other artists ever have. The sound of a human soul being completely, unapologetically free. The Sultan had the titles, he had the gold, he had the empire. But the Cossacks? They had the joke. And in the long run of history, the joke is usually what survives. What do you think? Is this a celebration of freedom or just a painting of a bunch of bullies? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more art history untangled.